Hi guys, my name is Isaac and this is the video of my transformation story. I hope you enjoy it. When I was a kid, I was always trying to be active. I think I was destined from the start to be an insanity guy. I'm pretty sure I'm trying to do switch kicks here in this picture. Unfortunately, I was diagnosed with a disease called acute chronic pancreatitis, which basically means that my pancreas mass-produced enzymes, and I was digesting my own body from the inside. Although pancreatitis is common in adults who heavily abuse alcohol, it was unheard of in children. So I spent a lot of years in a lot of pain and a lot of time in the hospital, and I was unable to do physical activities like sports. I had a major surgery when I was 12 that helped with some of the symptoms, but I still had some degree of pain pretty much all the time. After high school, me and a couple good friends started the best rap, metal, punk, ska, alternative rock band ever in the history of music, pretty much. And this is how I met the love of my life, Jillian. All you Instagrammers know her as Strawberry Blush. She came to one of my concerts, and I fell in love right away. Less than a year after we met, Jillian and I got married. We were still kids at the time, but we were happy. Jillian didn't know what she was signing up for when she said in sickness and in health, or for better or worse. We started having kids right away, and as we focused on making a living for our little family, we began neglecting our own physical health. The big shocker in our life came when our daughter was 18 months old, and she was diagnosed with pancreatitis, just like me. Up until this point, our doctors never even knew that it was a hereditary disease. We didn't know it at the time, but this was the beginning of what would be a decade-long battle, not only for Tasia's life, but for mine as well.
I'm not ready to die, but
2006 marked the arrival of two important things in our lives: the birth of our third child and video cameras on cell phones. This time in our lives was filled with hospital visits, surgeries, and an unthinkable amount of hospital bills. We tried to keep a good attitude and stay happy, but things just kept getting worse. The medical bills finally got so huge that we had to file bankruptcy, and my medical situation was getting worse every year. It was obvious that our health and our weight was suffering. Jillian had just had her third child. At least she had an excuse. Me, on the other hand, well, I have absolutely no clue what I was doing wrong. Yeah, we'll just go with that. At the end of 2011, the doctor told me that due to all the years of damage to my pancreas, I was a ticking time bomb for pancreatic cancer, and the only option was to remove my pancreas altogether. Unfortunately, they would also have to remove the other organs that share a blood supply: the spleen, the gallbladder, the appendix. All of these things would have to be removed, but then they would try to transplant my islet cells, which produce insulin, into my liver. So in March of 2012, we flew up to Minnesota so that I could be evaluated. We brought Tasia with us just to get the doc's opinion on her too. To our surprise, the doctors said that Tasia had to have the surgery immediately. So what started as an evaluation trip turned into the scariest time of our lives. I was able to make a surprise trip to Minnesota to be with Tasia and Jillian for Tasia's surgery. That is a story in and of itself. And at the end of this video, I'll post the website so you can see the video that we made about her surgery. But obviously, this was a stressful time for our family.
Time to escape the clutches of a name. No, this is not a game. It's just a little beginning. I don't believe the bottom line. It's time.
Taja's surgery went very well, but that was only half the battle. In June, it was time for my surgery. Although my surgery went well, there was a little bit of a problem because I had the disease for so many years that they were not able to harvest as many insulin-producing cells as they needed. So I became an instant type 1 diabetic. Also, without a pancreas, I have no enzymes to digest food. So I would have to take enzyme pills before I ate anything for the rest of my life. But in my mind, that was a small price to pay because my risk of cancer was gone, and for the first time in my life, I was pain-free. Being a diabetic and having a completely whacked out digestive system, I had to learn real quick about nutrition and what foods do to my body. And the docs told me that physical exercise was super important to help control the diabetes. That's where Beachbody came in. I decided to tackle a goal that I had never been able to achieve before, the insanity workouts coupled with Shakeology.
Dripping off me, light it softly. Got these fakers trying to stop me. This ain't a hobby, it's a way of life. Just like Holyfield and Tyson, gloves on fight night. Boom, here comes the hurricane. Monsoon switched up, came to redecorate the room. My ears are ringing from hearing the same sound. So what now? All of the walls just came down. I blaze a trail like the rays from tail light sound, shaking the ground like earthquakes and hail might. Someday I'll die, but not tonight. Excuse me while I light up the sky.
Jillian and I both made the decision that we were going to commit to this and see where it could take us. And that's when we went full-blown insane. The workouts were hard, and there were more than a couple times where we didn't feel like we could keep going. But we decided that no matter how many times we had to take a break, we were going to push play and keep going until the end.
Time ripping, mint condition, lights out, stomping all competition. My utmost to his highest, it gets no flyer. We set the mainframe on fire.
It wasn't a surprise that we were getting results. It's impossible not to. But what was a surprise was how quickly we saw results. We pushed through and completed insanity, but we felt so good and had so much energy that we had to have more. So we got the next level of insanity. We entered the asylum. And after we completed Asylum, we just kept on going with hybrid workouts from both Insanity and Asylum. We never got into Beachbody with the intention of making money or trying to sell it. But what we found was that people came to us and were asking us why we looked so happy, so fit, and why we had so much energy. We decided to go deeper with Beachbody and become coaches. Although it has provided us with some income, our goal as coaches is not to make money. Our goal is to share our story. When I think about where I came from, it seems impossible for me to be where I am at now. But here I am, 34 years old, in the best shape of my life and feeling healthier than I ever thought possible. My Beachbody story is one of hope. If I can do it, anyone can. And I want to tell as many people as possible that if they're willing to give 100%, they can change their lives.
Nowhere else have I seen such lines led by lambs. So if you're not afraid of it, stand up and take my hand. Watch me live. We got a battle up front, but beyond that's the promised land. And when we all shout together, man, believe me, they'll understand. I blaze a trail like the rays from tail light sound, shaking the ground like earthquakes and hail might. Someday I'll die, but not tonight. Excuse me while I light up the sky.
Jillian and I are so excited to be able to share Beachbody with other people and to share the amazing results that we have through hard work and dedication and believing in ourselves. It's been less than a year since we started our journey, and we've both had amazing results, and we're both so happy. We both feel energetic, and we're both thankful to all of the crew members and all the other Team Beachbody members that have supported us and who are in our community groups. And we want to be able to share this with as many people as possible.